Oh, there are a few things going on around Crystal Palace at the moment. Now, I have to stress that these are rumours, but some of them are quite interesting actually, so we'll take them one by one and get your comments as always as to what you think about them. My name is Stephen Dawes, this is Palace to the Core. Don't forget to subscribe for all your latest Crystal Palace news, views and reviews. And to start off with, I'm going to be talking about Ryan Sessegnon, who is currently training with Crystal Palace at Copers Cope. Now it says, after taking Ryan Sessegnon on trial and announcing the arrival of Daichi Kamada, Crystal Palace are now pushing hard to sign another player. Now it looks as though he's currently a free agent, and it looks like the talks are ongoing between the left back and Dougie Freedman. A separate deal is now happening in the background, so it looks as though he is well, potentially going to be a player for us, but I would probably imagine a squad player as much as anything else. He is currently recovering from an injury, surgery. There are those that have said, well, we don't want to have another situation when we had with Nathan Ferguson. Now, you know, with greatest respect to Nathan Ferguson, he had a terrible time with injury, really a horrible time with injury. But obviously the club don't want to be in that situation again. So I'm sure this is why they're doing training with him first, so that they get to see his fitness, get to see what he's capable of, and then potentially offer him a contract after that. There are other clubs interested in him as well, so you know, we're not the only ones. But we'll have to wait and see what's going on with that one. I'll let you know as soon as I hear any more. Let me know your thoughts on him for a start off. The next one I want to talk about is Aster Vranckx, which is he's also said to be a Premier League side willing to pay £10 million fee demanded by VfL Wolfsburg. Tuesday's edition of Corriere dello Sport backs up Crystal Palace's interest in the 21-year-old when discussing Fiorentina's chances of securing his services. He's a midfielder, which makes me consider that this is perhaps just paper talk, because we've already got a lot of midfielders. I don't see why we would want to buy another one. We've already got enough cover, I think, in that area. But anyway, I'm going to talk about it regardless anyway, just to let you know. He made 26 appearances in all competition for the Bundesliga last season. Fiorentina are considering bringing him back to Italy as they have a strong objective for the summer window. They have to battle it out with Crystal Palace as the player has attracted their interest. It's thought that the Serie A team are not financially able to battle with Crystal Palace over the deal, so it could be that he's a Belgium international, so he looks like a good player, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. I'm just thinking, another midfielder, are we really going to be interested in another midfielder? There's no talk about what figures have been bandied about, but apparently Wolfsburg want £10 million for him. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. And the last thing I want to talk about is a little bit of behind the scenes changes, and that is that Ben Stevens has been promoted to assistant sporting director by Crystal Palace, so he's now an assistant to Dougie Freedman. He's worked for Eagles for almost a decade, head of performance and recruitment analysis. He's been doing that job for the last 6 years. He's now been promoted to the assistant sporting director next to Dougie Freedman, so he's going to be working closely with him. Now this could be a kind of a mentoring thing. You know, they're training him up so that if Dougie Freedman decides to part ways in the future, then they've got him to step into the role. And I think this might be why they've done it, because obviously I think it was probably a bit of a shock when Newcastle came in for Dougie Freedman. I think perhaps they're thinking to themselves, if another deal comes along and Dougie does want to take it, at least with him we've got someone who's got his kind of knowledge, or he's the tools that he uses and the way that he thinks about players. Someone else has got that skill set then on board to take over if and when that happens. So it's probably a good bit of business by the club to ensure that there is some kind of backup for Dougie should he decide to move on in the future. So we'll have to keep an eye on him as well. He previously worked for Newcastle, interestingly, so a bit of a deja vu thing there going there. He was their head of performance analysis, so he's big in on the analysis and stuff like that, and I think that's probably going to help him when he's working with Dougie. And yeah, so I thought that was quite interesting little tidbits to let you know about. Anyway, so that's what we've got so far today. I will of course let you know if anything else crops up along the way. Don't forget to let me know down in the comment section what you think about those pieces of news, and I will see you next time.